Hi there, I'm Tyler Garnes, President of Box Out Marketing, and today I'm really excited because I'm here with Michael Gerber, the author of The EMyth Revisited. Now, The EMyth, when it was published in 1986, was a small business growth book. But as you know, today, it has grown in sales every single year since it was published without any advertising or any additional marketing. Now that is absolutely stunning. Michael's also the guy that Inc. magazine has deemed the world's #1 small business guru. So why are we here today? Michael and I have teamed up to create something absolutely amazing, something that has never, ever been done before. So I'm going to turn it over to Michael to tell you a little bit about why we're here, tell you the story of how we can help small businesses grow. Not just grow, but really become something entirely different than you've ever dreamed before.
Thank you, Tyler. I'm delighted to be here to speak to all of you. And I'm here to talk about something absolutely beyond amazing, absolutely extraordinary. Now, I know you've heard that word and just about any other word you can imagine trying to hype up people to do something they really aren't interested in doing. Well, I've been told that you're somebody who is absolutely interested in going beyond the ordinary. I've been told by Tyler that we're going to be speaking to people who are beyond the ordinary. They're not just run-of-the-mill small business owners. They're not just guys and ladies who are doing it, busy, and trying to get through the day. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm with Tyler. And that's really what I want to introduce you to, because we're about to create a revolution. Now understand, I've already created a revolution, and this is not my ego speaking. As Tyler told you, The EMyth is one of the most extraordinary books of all time. It's the most successful small business book of all time. And that means since the day it came out in 1986, every single day from that day on, without any promotion from me, without any promotion from Tyler, I don't even know if he's alive then, without any promotion from anybody, let alone the publisher, because the publisher doesn't promote anything. But without any promotion whatsoever, the book has been handed over, an accountant to his client, an attorney to his accountant, and on and on and on and on. Every single one of them saying, you got to read this book, you got to read this book, you got to read this book, you got to read this book. Well, the book was one thing, but what we also did way back then in 1977, now hear me, I'm 79 freaking years old. So I'm talking about a long time. We created a business revolution starting in 1977 when myself and my partner then, Thomas, when we formed what we called the Michael Thomas Corporation, to become the very first, what we called business development firm worldwide. We created the very first business coaching company. Now hear me, when I say the very first business coaching company, there was no business coaching company when we founded the Michael Thomas Corporation. And we set out to create a revolution by inventing, from a blank piece of paper in beginner's mind, a solution to the problem that every small business owner faced at that point in time. The problem? Not only couldn't they grow, but they couldn't fix the broken pieces in the business they'd started. And they couldn't because they never had learned how to do that. Understand, way back then in 1977, we created what we called the Michael Thomas Business Development Program, a turnkey system that we invented based upon a dream I had. And the dream, as I called it, was not a dreamy thing. It wasn't sort of, we're dreaming, we're daydreaming. It wasn't that kind of a dream. It was the Apple kind of a dream. It was the Dell computer kind of a dream. It was the McDonald's or the Starbucks or the big guy kind of dream. The kind of dream very few people dare to even imagine being able to do, let alone to be successful doing. We had a dream. And the dream was to transform the state of small business worldwide. But we didn't only have a dream, we had a vision. And the vision was to invent the McDonald's of small business consulting. Yes, we set out to do the impossible. Nobody even thought that, in fact, that was something that anybody could do. McDonald's? Are you kidding me? A consulting firm called the McDonald's of small business consulting? What in the world would that be? Well, understand, that still wasn't enough. That was necessary, but insufficient to be able to do what we set out to do. The third thing we did was to, in fact, determine what our purpose was. And our purpose, very, very clearly, was we set out to transform the state of small business worldwide, like the McDonald's of small business consulting, by absolutely saying to every single client we were going to work with that, yes, you can be successful in your small business in a way you'd never thought possible before, just like Ray Kroc did with his franchisees. You understand, every single McDonald's franchise has succeeded. Over 35,000 of them worldwide, doing it in exactly the way Ray Kroc saw it then, way back then at the beginning. That's not possible, people would say to me. Oh, but yes, it is, we said to them way back then, Tom and I. But you understand, once we had a dream and a vision and a purpose, it still wasn't enough. Because then we were left with a mission. And our mission way back then was to invent the turnkey business development system we could hand to our minimum wage kids, just like Ray Kroc did to the people he hired at McDonald's. We could create a turnkey capability that every single small business owner could utilize. No matter what industry, no matter what their finances, no matter what their expertise, no matter what their market, no matter where they were and what they wanted to do, every single one of them, we said, could succeed every single time if all they were to do was to incorporate our turnkey business development system in what they did. We realized the biggest single problem with small businesses back then, in 1977, is the same thing that's wrong with small businesses today, in 2016. Nothing's changed. Oh yes, I know, the internet's changed, and this has changed, and that has changed. I understand that. I was born in 1936. I mean, everything has changed. But hear me, nothing has. Because the same problem exists right now today. Despite all of our success, despite everything we learned how to do, despite the huge difference we made in the tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of small business clients we served, starting out in 1977, I realized that something different had to happen. Something was missing in this picture that absolutely had to take form, had to take place, and had to be orchestrated into a system that we could deliver to anybody who truly was passionate about one thing. And that's the one thing that was missing back then. And that's why I called it the EMyth. It's the entrepreneurial myth. It's the myth that anybody who owns and operates a small business is actually an entrepreneur, when in fact what we learned working with all of those small companies that we have worked with in 145 countries worldwide was that in fact very few of the people we worked with were truly entrepreneurs. What we discovered was they were technicians suffering from an entrepreneurial seizure. Well, what those people came to us to do was to help them to fix a broken business. And that's what we've been doing at EMyth for years, fixing broken businesses, fixing broken businesses, fixing broken businesses. To do what? To make it easier for the owner of that business to get by. Now understand, that's the problem. All they wanted to do was to get by. They wanted to make a little more money. They wanted to work a little less hard. They wanted to have it easier. They wanted to be able to go out and play golf, or be with their kids, or be with their wife, or be with their husband. Do all the things that normal people obviously want to do. But I wasn't interested in helping normal people do what normal people do. Because I'm looking at the world and I'm saying normal ain't good enough. Wasn't good enough for Steve Jobs. Wasn't good enough for the founder of Subway sandwiches. Wasn't good enough for the guy who created Starbucks. Wasn't good enough for the guy who created any one of these extraordinary companies I'm referring to. But then everybody would say, yeah, but I'm not that guy. All I want to do is to make a good living, be my own boss, take it easy, leave the company at 5 in the afternoon and know that everything is working the way it's supposed to work so I can do the things I really want to do. And then when I test that assumption, that belief, that desire, is that really what you want to do? The reason you were born is to be a good father. The reason you were born is to be a good mother. The reason you were born is to play golf. The reason you were born is to take vacations. Is that really what you want to do? If I were talking to Steve Jobs would look at me as though I'm absolutely out of my mind. And I would be. Because you understand, that's not what Steve Jobs wanted to do. What Steve Jobs wanted to do, and what Steve Jobs did better than almost anybody else on the face of this earth, is Steve Jobs wanted to create a breakthrough. Steve Jobs wanted to create a profound impact on the world. Steve Jobs wanted to be the Mother Teresa. Steve Jobs wanted to become Einstein of. Steve Jobs had these great chops waiting to be exercised to create something nobody had ever thought of before. Steve Jobs was compelled, was obsessed, was passionate about greatness. Not greatness for himself, you understand. It never was about Steve. It was about you. And every single one of you who have benefited from Steve Jobs' passion, his determination, his absolute delight and awe in creating something unbelievable, every single one of you are the beneficiaries of that. Now, I don't want to simply make you another beneficiary of another great guy. I want to find the great guy in you, the great lady in you. I want to help you to discover who Steve Jobs was by finding him inside of you, not outside of you. Not somebody that you can glorify on the outside, but somebody you can, in fact, awaken on the inside. That's what Tyler and I are here to create for you. I call it Beyond the EMyth. The evolution of an enterprise. I want to provide you with an insight into why most small companies never will grow. Why most guys you know will never go beyond the ordinary. Why most companies will fail to ever exceed the outcomes that just about everybody says they want. I want to make a little bit more money. I want to spend a little less time. I don't want to talk to people like that. You understand? I'm freaking 79. You understand? I don't want to talk to the tens upon tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of people whose only desire is to be ordinary, to get by, to have enough. I'm not interested in having enough. I'm only passionate about creating something that's more than enough. And that's what Tyler assured me of. That if we were to do this together, he would help us go out and touch the people who want to become more than just enough, who want to create something beyond belief, something like Infusionsoft did. When Scott and Clayt came to the dreaming room to discover what their dream, their vision, their purpose, their mission were, they had no idea what they're getting themselves immersed in. When Scott and Clayt came and joined me in the dreaming room way back then, they had a small emerging company. Infusionsoft was really getting by, doing stuff. And Scott came up to me and said, hey, Gerber, you know, I'm here because I really believe in the EMyth. I really understand the idea of the system is the solution. But I'm not really sure I should be here. What's this dreaming stuff? And I said, Scott, shut up and sit down. You'll see. In 2.5 days, you're going to have an understanding of yourself, your company, the world, the opportunity beyond anything you ever heard before, beyond anything any marketer ever told you before, beyond anything any consultant ever spoke to you about before. That's what I want to happen here. It's going to happen inside of you. It's not going to happen inside of me. So I have no clue what's going to happen here for you, Scott, nor do you, nor does anybody in this room. Just come. Just be prepared for a miracle. Because that's what's going to happen in this room. A blank piece of paper and beginner's mind. So that's what we're going to do with you when you come to Arizona to join Tyler and me, to join us in a dreaming room just for you, and then to take it to the very next step. Because I call it beyond the EMyth, the evolution of an enterprise from a company of one to a company of 1,000. I want to talk about hypergrowth. I want to talk about why growth is not what you think it is, why management is not what you think it is, why leadership is not what you've been told it is, why everything you've been taught is absolutely opposite of what, in fact, it takes to create an Apple, a Dell, a Starbucks, a Subway sandwiches, a great company. I'm saying there's a great company waiting inside of you. You don't know what that is. You've never talked about that before, but you're going to discover what it is. And then we're going to take you through a process. And in that process, you're going to get a taste of what your dream, your vision, your purpose, your mission will be. And once you get a taste of that, Tyler is going to demonstrate, skipping a beat, how to begin to communicate that to the world, to begin to attract the world to your dream, your vision, your purpose, and your mission. How to attract your people to your dream, your vision, your purpose, and your mission. How to completely differentiate you with this tremendous leap into hyperspace beyond where ordinary people are. To then help ordinary people transform their expectations of what their life is here to do. I like to say, if we're born in the image of God, and I believe we are, we're born to create. I want to engage you in a process of creativity unlike anything you've ever engaged in before. If you want to know more, just click, sign in, and we'll tell you more. See you in Arizona in April 2016. This is Michael Gerber signing off in Carlsbad, California, the land that God created for you and me. See you soon.